Hi everyone, here we are, day one, talking about self-love, self-esteem, and negative core beliefs. So I'm going to have to speak really quick because like I wrote on our group, I usually teach this course in about 3 hours. And so I'm going to try to pull the most important tidbits out for you in a matter of 5 minutes. So bear with me if I talk a little fast. But we want to start with negative core belief systems. And what a negative core belief is something that was put in your memory at an early age, usually in early childhood. It's usually done by a parent or a family member, maybe a teacher. Something that was said to you or done to you or not done to you or not said to you. It could have been bigger than that. It could have been sexual abuse. It could have been emotional abuse. It could be any of those things that you were not aware of, stayed in your subconscious mind and replays over and over and over. Now, I don't want to say this so that we blame our parents and we pass blame on people in our childhood, because the fact is they were doing the best they could with what they were taught. And a lot of times it's a generational thing. You know, maybe a dad spoke harshly to their child because that's how his dad taught him to behave. And so that harsh word went into that child's head and caused them to not believe in themselves, caused them to hate themselves, or caused them to think that they're not good enough, or not smart enough, or unworthy, unlovable. So that's what I want to talk about first here today is the negative core beliefs, because that's something that we carry around that we don't realize is there. And when we do that, our subconscious mind, guys, it works 80% of the time. It's 80% of our brain is working off the subconscious mind. So if we have negative thoughts in there that we didn't realize live there and repeat, those thoughts, the brain will seek to validate those beliefs. And you will repeat patterns that you didn't realize you were doing. So the first plan is to identify what your negative core belief is. Everybody has them, everybody. And nobody comes into this world without receiving something in their mind that was passed on from somebody that caused them to not believe in themselves. The thing is we were all made in love. We were created in love. We came out these clean balls of baby bundles of love when we were born, but we were born into an imperfect world. And once we were born, we were surrounded with society and our environment and people that are not perfect. And so once that happens, little cracks in our heart start forming. And that is what causes low self-esteem and a lack of self-love. So what I would like everybody to do, and this is what I did on my own journey, I had to go inside and dig deep and figure out, what is it that I've been telling myself? What is that inner critic that you hear telling me that is true of me that really logically isn't true? And you need to dig deep. And so often a lot of the common ones are, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not smart enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy of that. And a lot of times we just think that's who we are. But that is not who we are. It is not how we were created. It is not what we were created to believe about ourselves. That was something that was implanted in our brain at an early age. And so we need to start first by identifying what your own belief system is. So I would like that for your first step is to sit down and really start thinking, what is it that I've been thinking about myself? What is it that stops me from making a decision? You know, sometimes these kind of thoughts can cause us problems in our life, such as not going for a job we really want, because inside we're thinking, we're not good enough for that job. They're not going to pick me. I'm not smart enough. Is it a friendship? Maybe you don't approach people because you think they're not going to like me. They're going to think I'm weird. They're going to see right through me and they'll know I'm a loser. You know, things like that. And if you think about it, how many things have you passed up in your life because of a negative belief that you somehow believe about yourself? When really, if you think about it logically, guys, think about it logically. Do you think really to your core that you're not good enough? Do you really think God made you not good enough? No, that is not the truth. And so what we need to do is start identifying what thoughts that we believe about ourselves that are not true. And once we've identified a couple of them, and let me just tell you, we all have several, and we've all been working off them for a very long time. And so it takes a little while to reframe those thoughts and tell ourselves the truth about ourselves on a repetitious time frame so that we can start believing what is true about us. And once we start doing that, let me tell you, your self-love tank will start increasing. It will no longer be on empty, because once you believe you're worthy of love, once you believe you're good enough, you're going to feel it. And it's going to help you. It's going to jolt you forward, and it's going to help you to go for that job. It's going to help you look for a new friend, or maybe choose a boyfriend or a girlfriend that is worthy of you and not something you're just settling for because you think you're not good enough. There's so many people out there suffering from these beliefs that are not true. So what I would like you to do, everybody, is to sit down by yourself and just start thinking, what is it that comes in my mind a lot? What is it deep in my core that I think about myself? And once you have that down, I want you to write it down, and then I want you to reframe it. Whatever it is, I want you to reframe it to the positive. So mine, I just want to share with you, was I'm not good enough. It prohibited me from so much stuff in my life. It stopped me from using my voice. It stopped me from setting boundaries. It promoted such an unhealthy lifestyle for me for several years that once I learned what it was, I tell you, I worked like a mad woman to change it. So once you identify a couple of yours, write them down. Then I want you to reframe them. So if it's I'm not good enough, you will reframe it to something in your own words. But mine was I am whole and complete and more than good enough. And I want to tell you guys, the thing that you need to do is to repeat this to yourself. I don't care if you have to say it to yourself 100 times. There are so many things that need to be changed that are going on inside our mind that we don't know that are going on inside our mind so much because it's a subconscious level. We need to change it. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. One, you can write on sticky notes, put them all over your house, put them all over at your desk. Write the reframe version. I am more than good enough. I am lovable. I am worthy of love. Put them in your car even. Another thing that I used to do when I was doing my own work is I would text myself an alarm every day, and it would come up at the same time every day, 2 o'clock, and it would say, I am whole and complete and more than good enough. And I would read it, and sometimes that text would come, that alarm would come right when I needed it. So there's little things that you can do for yourself that if you're on fire for change, you will do. And those are just a couple of them that you can do to start making change. If you think about habits, guys, habits take, some say 21, some say 30 days to change a habit. And if you think about positive affirmations, which is what I'm asking you really to do, think about how your mind remembers a song that you haven't heard in 10 years. And it comes on the radio, and you can just start singing it because of how many times you sang it 10 years ago. It stays in your subconscious mind, guys. It's so important. Sometimes it feels like affirmations are kind of stupid. You look in the mirror, you do your work, and you say, I am good enough. I am whole and complete and more than good enough. And it feels kind of fake and kind of odd, but I am telling you, you are reframing your thoughts. And you need to reframe your thoughts to reframe your feelings. And once your feelings get reframed, then your actions become changed. And you start to really believe in yourself. And you start to really believe that you are good enough. And you know it because that is the logical truth. And these are the first steps, you guys, to increasing your self-love. You have to believe in yourself before you can be there for your children, before you can be there for your husband or a friend. You have to take care of yourself first, or you're going to be running on empty. So the first amount of gas that you're going to put in your tank is to identify your negative self-talk, your negative core belief. You're going to reframe it, and then below on the comments, I would like you guys to share them. After you really do some thought and you think about what yours is, and I would just say list 2. I would like you to say what they are, reframe them, and share with people, because I'm guaranteeing you that we all have something that we believe in ourselves that is not true. You guys, it is not true. Trust me, I did 1.5 years of work on myself, and I learned so much about negative core beliefs, and they were just buried in me, and they were so deep that my brain just seeked to validate every one of them. I would think I'm not good enough, so I would avoid this circumstance, or I would seek out an unhealthy friendship or an unhealthy relationship, because I would really believe that I wasn't good enough to have any better, and I didn't know I was doing it, and that's the crazy thing. So it's a call to action, everyone. Find out what your negative core beliefs are. I would like you to reframe them, and then on your own, I would like you to do post-it notes. I would like you to do mirror work. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look deep into your eyes, not just kind of away. Look into your eyes and say the opposite of what your mind has been telling you since you were a child. Do it, you guys. If you keep doing it, if you keep doing it, and you do it like you're just fighting for yourself, you will start to see the truth. And the truth is, you are made valuable. God doesn't make junk. Come on. You guys are good enough. You're more than good enough. You're awesome. So that's day 1. I can't wait to see the responses below, and I am here if you have any questions. I will be responding. I will be writing, and I'm so excited to keep going. There's so many more tools, and there's so many more little things about self-love that you need to know, and I can't wait. I can't wait for every single day of these 5 days. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.